Hello everyone. So I recently crocheted this blanket entirely out of flowers, which was really fun because normally like when I crochet a flower blanket, I would like turn them into granny squares and then join them. So it's fun to like just do the flowers this time. You can see a little sample of it right here. So I'll put the link down below the blog post if you want to see some more like finished pictures of the full blanket. I'm going to try and break this video into two parts. So in the first part today, we'll just go over how to make one of the flowers for the blanket, and then I'll film a second part and show how to join them together. For all the details about like the size of the blanket, the yarn, all the color combinations, that'll be all included in the blog post down below, as well as like the full written out pattern for the blanket. Then I also wanted to show you, so this was the sample that I made when I was taking the step-by-step pictures for the pattern, and it's just for the flowers. And so these are kind of fun to use, like if you want to use them as decorations. You definitely don't have to commit to making like a full blanket. You can make a smaller sized one. You can just make some decorations with these flowers for fun. So in this video today, I'm going to make the first flower on the blanket, which is this one right here. So we'll have the pale yellow center and then the green petals. So we'll start with the yellow. All right, so we'll begin with the magic circle. If you don't like magic circles, you can chain 4 and then slip stitch into the first chain to make the loop at the beginning. So we're going to start with the chain 2, and that will count as the first half double crochet stitch. And in this video today, I'm going to use US crochet terms, but if you prefer UK, I'll put down below how you can convert between the two. So this chain 2 will be your first half double crochet, and then we're going to crochet 7 more half double crochet stitches. So for a half double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook into the magic circle, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, so then you yarn over and you pull through all 3. So I'll show that again. So for the half double crochet, it's yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, so yarn over, pull through all 3. So we currently have 3 stitches, including that chain 2. We'll want a total of 8 for this round. Alright, so I'm just going to check real quick. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So then we'll pull on the tail of the magic circle and then slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. So that's going to be round 1. For round 2, we'll begin with another chain 2, and then we're going to work a half double crochet right into the top of that chain 2 from the previous round. So that first stitch we have a chain 2 with a half double crochet, and then in the rest of the stitches we'll work 2 half double crochet. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. You can continue that all the way around. You should have 16 stitches at the end of the round, and I'll meet you there. Alright, so then here at the end of round 2, we'll go ahead and just slip stitch into the top of that chain 2. And then now we're done with the yellow, so we can fasten that off. Then we can grab the green, and we'll just want to join it into any stitch of the previous round. So for round 3, we're going to begin with the chain 1. That's not going to count as a stitch, so into that same space right there, we're going to work a single crochet. So for a single crochet, you just insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, so then you yarn over and pull through both of them. Then the next stitch, we're going to work a double crochet. So for a double crochet, you'll yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. This is just like a half double crochet, but when you have those 3 loops, you'll yarn over, pull through 2, and then yarn over, pull through 2. Then we're going to chain 3, and then into the same stitch right here, we're going to work another double crochet. So once again, it'll be yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, so it's yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's the section for like one of the petals, so we're going to keep repeating that around. So in the next stitch, we'll work a single crochet. So once again, you'll have those 2 loops that you pull through. Then in the next stitch, it'll be a double crochet, chain 3, and then another double crochet. So I'll repeat that one more time. So it's a single crochet, and then the next stitch is a double, chain 3, and then another double crochet. So you'll go ahead and continue this all the way around. We're going to end up having 8 petals, and then I'll meet you at the end of the round. Alright, so then at the end of round 3 here, remember that chain 1 at the beginning didn't count as a stitch, so you'll insert your hook into the first single crochet of this round, and then work a slip stitch. And then we're now moving on to round 4. For this round, we're going to begin with the chain 1, and that's actually going to count as the first slip stitch. We're going to use a lot of slip stitches during this round because that's going to help create like the shape of the petals. So that's going to count as a slip stitch. In the next stitch, we'll work a half double crochet. Then in that chain 3 space, we're going to work a double crochet, chain 3, and then a double crochet. And they'll all be into the chain 3 space. So it's double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. Then the next stitch, we'll work a half double crochet. Then it'll be a slip stitch. And so that's kind of the pattern always for each petal. So it begins with the slip stitch that I just worked. Then it'll be a half double crochet. Then in that chain 3 space, it's a double crochet, chain 3, and then another double crochet. Then a half double crochet. So far we've done 2 of the petals. I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. So in the next stitch is a slip stitch, then a half double crochet. In that chain 3 space, it's a double crochet, chain 3, then a double crochet, and then the next stitch is a half double crochet. So you can go ahead and continue that around. It's always slip stitch, half double crochet, in the chain 3 space, DC, chain 3, and then a double crochet, and then a half double crochet into that next stitch. So go ahead and continue that around, and then I'll meet you at the end of the round. So at the end of round 4, you'll want to go ahead and insert your hook into that chain 1 from the beginning of the round, and then work a slip stitch. So now moving on to round 5, we'll once again start with the chain 1. That'll count as the first slip stitch. Then in the next stitch, we're also going to work a slip stitch. Then the next stitch will be a half double crochet, And that chain 3 space, just like we did in the previous round, it's going to be a double crochet, chain 3, and then another double crochet. Then in that next stitch will be a half double crochet, and then a slip stitch. So for this round, that will always be the pattern for like each petal. So I'm going to repeat that again. So we'll start with 2 slip stitches. And then next stitch will be a half double crochet. Into the chain 3 space is double crochet, chain 3, and then a double crochet, and then it'll be a half double crochet and a slip stitch. So I'll go ahead and do that one more time. So it always begins with 2 slip stitches, a half double crochet, and then in that chain 3 space it's double crochet, chain 3, then another double crochet, and then a half double crochet, and a slip stitch. So that's the pattern for this round. Once again, you can go ahead and just continue that around, and then I'll meet you at the end of the round. Alright, so then at the end of round 5, once again, you'll just want to find that chain 1 from the beginning of the round, and we'll work a slip stitch. So then if you look at these other flowers that I have here, you'll probably notice that they're currently missing the last round. That's why they're a little bit smaller, and that's because we add the last round on when we're joining them together, because this technique is called join as you go that we're going to be using. So if you're not crocheting the very first flower in your blanket, you'll want to go ahead and fasten off right now. Since I'm crocheting the first one, I'm going to go ahead and add round 6 to it, but otherwise you can just go ahead and fasten off. And then in part 2, in the next part of this video, we'll go ahead and we'll add that round on. So for round 6, what it is you start with the chain 1, which counts as the first slip stitch, and then in each of the next 2 stitches, we'll work a slip stitch. And the next stitch will be a half double crochet. And then since this is the last round in these chain 3 spaces, it's going to be a little bit different. So it'll be 2 double crochet, and then this next stitch, I'm not really sure that I pronounced this correctly. I believe it's called the picot stitch, but it's what creates the shape of the petals. So you chain 3, and then into the first chain, you work a single crochet. So you just insert your hook into that first chain, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, so then just yarn over, pull through 2. And then into this chain 3 space, we'll work 2 more double crochet. Then in the next stitch, there'll be a half double crochet, and then 2 slip stitches. So that's like the section of one of the petals of the flower. We'll go ahead and continue on, so I'll do that again. So we're going to start, it'll be 3 slip stitches, Then that next stitch, a half double crochet. Then the chain 3 space, it's 2 double crochet. And then once again, we'll do that picot stitch. So it's chain 3. And then into that first chain, we work a single crochet. Then into the chain 3 space, it's 2 more double crochet. In the next stitch, it'll be a half double crochet. Then in each of the next 2 stitches, it'll be a slip stitch. So that's the pattern for this round. It always begins with 3 slip stitches, a half double crochet, and the chain 3 space is 2 double crochet, a picot, and then 2 double crochet, then a half double crochet, and 2 slip stitches. So you can go ahead and continue on, and then I'll meet you at the end of the round. So I'm at the end of round 6. I've just worked 2 slip stitches. So then once again, we'll find that chain 1 from the beginning of the round and slip stitch. Now at this point, you can go ahead and fasten off. And if you have a tapestry needle, you can go ahead and weave in all those ends. And that's the full pattern for the flower. If you want to make some more flowers, I do have that full written pattern out on my blog. I'll put the link to it down in the description box down below, so that way you don't have to keep rewatching the video. You can just read the written instructions. And then I'll try to film like part 2 probably at the end of this week to try to show how to join all of them together. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video.